we're starting with new characters, right? Everybody, there's all sorts of conjecture. Is this really when he? Is it going to really reveal that it's Boba Fett all along? Is it a character we already know? We wanted to start fresh with a whole new group of a whole new set of characters that you never met before. And what's nice about that, it's like it reminds me of when we were starting with Iron Man. So for new fans, you know, these were new characters, new actors, and a new world, and actually even the MCU in that version of it was new. So it was a really nice entry point for people who didn't know anything about Marvel before and just wanted to see a movie and they liked the actors that were in it. And we assumed that you didn't know anything, and so we taught you, introduced you to everybody. But by the same token, the foundation of all of genre are the fans that have been there since the beginning and the people who grew up with it. And so how do you balance those two things at the same time? And I think for much of the time with superhero films, there was the notion going back, you know, decades that the fans will be there anyway. Just make it as approachable and accessible as you can to the general audience. But I think that's changed a lot, and I think that Kevin Feige and Avi Arad and all the people who started off with the MCU, I think smartly realized was, no, those are your fans, that's who's been there along, and you build out from the grassroots. So never lose touch with the people who've put in the time and who've cared. And so there are ways that even though we have new characters in it and you could jump in because it's chapter 1, we wanted to make sure that if you were watching and you knew about it, and this is where Dave has really been a treasure trove, because we try to effort to work stuff in, whether it's humorously, like making a reference to Life Day, or a reference to a prop that has been appreciated by a core group over time, just putting those little Easter eggs in, or big movements in the story that reflect storylines in either the Legends or in canon that people have known and had, and by the way, all of the animated content that Dave's been working on. How do you weave all of it together so that you don't have these divided, segmented parts of the audience, but you could start to bring it all together and coalesce it in a way that creates an overarching narrative and rewards the people who've been putting the time in over the years since they were kids growing up with it. So that's where, it's a sort of a long-winded answer of why I snuck a Life Day joke in there.